Oh, hello. I feel so professional with this mic now. Hey guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. And if you are new here, hey guys, my name is Brathny, also known as Julie or Julissa, and welcome back to my YouTube channel. So before I get started, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to my YouTube channel. And I know I have a mic now. I hope this is working. It is super early in the morning. My fiance and baby are still sleeping, so let's hope they stay asleep for maybe another hour. But yeah, as you guys can read by today's title, this video is so overdue. But since I'm a new mom, guys, everything's so new. It's so hard to try and do all of this YouTube filming and all that stuff when you're a first-time mom. But yes, today's video is going to be about my labor and delivery story, how I ended up getting an emergency C-section, and why my baby ended up going into the NICU room. But before I get started, I actually wanted to talk about how I got ready. It feels so good to get ready whenever you haven't gone ready in so long, and you're not completely ready until you have like a full-on jewelry statement pieces. And I mean look at these. Actually, before I get started, I really wanted to sit down and talk to you guys about a jewelry company called Ana Luisa. A huge shout out to Ana Luisa for working with me, actually. So Ana Luisa is a jewelry company, a sustainable jewelry, and I want to talk to you guys about them really quickly. So Ana Luisa has the most beautiful and affordable jewelries. All of their jewelry pieces start at $39, and let me show you guys what you get once you order from Ana Luisa. Okay, so when you order, they will send it out to you in a super cute little cardboard box, and in here, this whole box actually is made out of 100% recyclable paper. How amazing is that? And what I love, and I don't think I've seen any other jewelry company do this, is that they sent your jewelry to you in the cutest jewelry pouches. And what a card, something good for the earth. Yes. So they are actually the only jewelry company that I know that are carbon neutral. Not only do they care about their clients, but they also care about the earth. And let me get started on these. Are you kidding me? And if you have to travel, or you, like me, feel like you need certain jewelry in your purse, good pair of earrings, I mean anything, and you don't want your necklaces, jewelry to be roaming around in your purse, throw it in here, throw it in your purse, whatever you need, little clutch, these. And look at how amazing these are. They also have little magnets. Look at this. And then this one has a little divider in there, so cute. And then this one, it's a really soft pouch, and I got to choose. Okay, so now that I'm a mom, I love jewelry that says mom, mama, anything that has a mom word on it. So I chose this mama necklace, and look at how cute and dainty it is. And I layered it with this necklace that I got to choose. Let me get closer. This. So these two is one. It's 2 in 1, and then my mama necklace. I layered them together, and it's super duper cute. And I also got this. In the Latin community, we say esclava. This esclava, oh my gosh, está hermosa. It's beautiful. If you guys know, esclavas can range from $100 and up. Right now, Ana Luisa is having one of their biggest sales for Black Friday. So this right now is about 47 bucks. 47 bucks. I believe originally is like 57, but either way, esclavas are like $100 and some. And you see how affordable this is? And guys, ever since I received it, I've been wearing it every single day. I wash, and with the baby, you have to be constantly washing stuff, washing everything. And look at this, it has not tarnished, and it's so beautiful. And even has a little dainty here, and then on there it's a little diamond, and then on the back there's an A. It's super cute. And one last thing about Ana Luisa is they don't make huge chunks of jewelry. They actually make them in small batches. So as people order, they make small batches, which means they don't have huge amounts of jewelry just sitting in the back waiting for you to place an order. Another reason why they really care about their customers, and all of your jewelry is actually handmade, so they actually take their time into everything they make. So Ana Luisa is probably the best at trendy and prices out there right now that I'm aware. I don't think I've ever heard of anybody really caring about their customers, and not only that, the planet. So I highly recommend for you guys to check out Ana Luisa and their amazing, beautiful, affordable jewelry pieces. So I just really wanted to touch up on that before I got started. And I don't know where to begin. Oh my gosh, where do I begin? Where do I begin? So much happened. Okay, let's start off. So this was a day before Mijo came, my baby came. So, you know, I was 3 days before my due date. 3 days. I wanted him out, guys. I got so huge. I'll insert some pictures. I got huge. Like, I gained over 80 pounds. 80 pounds. My baby was 8 pounds and 21 ounces. I mean, and 21 inches. And I was huge, right? So I wanted him out. I was doing stretches. I was doing it all. And, you know, it came down to, you know, when the magic needs to happen, the magic will happen. And so it did. And actually it didn't help. It got, I don't know if you guys are too TMI, but it got my mucus plug out right after the magic. My mucus plug came out. Well, I noticed it because I got in the shower. And okay, so after that, right, so I do get in the shower and I see my mucus plug and I'm like, oh my gosh, you know, I start getting really hyped. I get really hyped. And okay, plus I didn't think anything of it. I start getting ready, right? I'm in a robe. Well, as I'm trying to, like, you know, get ready, I feel liquid coming out and I'm like, wait, what is that? I honestly thought I had peed myself for a little bit, but I'm like, wait, I just used the restroom. There's no reason, right? So obviously I got curious and I looked at it and I smelt it. I smelt it. I grabbed a toilet paper. And looked at it and it was kind of like clear. And I saw it coming down my leg too. So I was like, wait, what? What is that? Like, so obviously I smelt it. It was not pee. So I'm like, is my water breaking? Like, did my water just break? So obviously I start calling my mom. I call my mother-in-law. Hey, so I saw this, and this. And I start looking it up. And it sounds like it's my water, right? And I'm like, wait, but I don't have like a gush. I don't have like a big gush. Like, why am I gonna be going and no contraction? So I was like, I'm gonna wait it off and see what happens. Okay, so the night comes and I'm right good. Let me tell you, I was like, so if I go into labor, I want to eat good. I want to eat good. So I remember that night I had made picadillo de carne con papas, and then we had rice and beans. Let me tell you, bon appetit. I mean it. And I don't know if it was because I was pregnant, so I think it was delicious, but ay, sabía tan rico. Ay, esa me lo saboreó ahorita. Anyway, so, you know, I continue eating, and then my mother-in-law calls me, and she's like, hey, I really want you to call and let them know what's going on. I don't feel comfortable you just like chilling and not knowing what's going on, you know. So I think about it and I'm like, you know what, she's right. Let me call the hospital and let me let them know what's going on. So I call them, I let them know what happened, a little bit of liquid, and, you know, I'm just chilling. They're like, okay, so how about you come in and we can take a look at you and see, and go from there, right? I'm like, oh gosh, okay, you know, didn't think anything much of it. So me and Zayd get everything ready, we take our bags, and Zayd was asking me if I should take our bags, and honestly I was gonna tell him no. I'm so glad I did. I'm like, you know what, yeah, let's just go ahead and take them, and if they send us back, we can just keep everything in the car, you know. So we did, and the whole time there I was like, oh my gosh, I'm sure they're gonna send us home, they're gonna send us home. And Zayd's like, you think so? My fiance, are you sure? Guys, it was 3 days for my due date. What made me think that they weren't going to try to induce me, or I don't know, you know, first time I'm here. So yeah, I'm like, oh my gosh, I don't even know where we're going. I'm pretty sure they're gonna send us back. Okay, long story short, we get there, and so I didn't like that because of COVID. obviously at COVID they separate us. They took me through the emergency entrance, they roll you in, made me sit in a chair, and it was so sad. I got so scared. Like, I just remember looking back and Zave was there, and then the doors just closed. You know, like, it was, everything was like a movie kind of in a way. So it reminded me of, you know, like what you see in movies, that they take your person, whoever, and they just sit there, and the camera looks back and the door's closed. Anyways, so that's how I was, you know. So they take me to the delivery room, and they put me in this little room to check me. So the doctor comes in and she checks me, and oh my god, they obviously shove in there, and it hurt. Let me tell you, it hurt. So I was like, oh my gosh. And then I'm gonna insert a picture of here. This is where I was getting checked. I was all buckled in with my little pink and blue little straps to check my heart rate and baby's just to monitor the baby. So this picture here is right when I was like getting everything going, and I had taken a picture and was telling my fiance Xavier, I was like, hey, so they're taking me in, like I'm getting admitted. And yeah, they said that was she said that my water did break and that I was 1 centimeter dilated. And I was like, wait, so it did break? Like, wow, like, so where's the water at? Like, you know, so I'm gonna leave it at that. That's where it stayed, right? Okay, so we go into the room, they put me in a room, and they start everything. They start hooking me up, then they start talking about blood transfusion if I was to get a C-section, and they kept talking about a C-section so much that this was kind of where it clicked. I'm like, what if I did have to? And honestly, I didn't think I was gonna get a C-section. No C-section was in my mind. I mean, absolutely nothing to do with a C-section. All I thought was like, oh, I'm gonna give natural birth, and that's how it's gonna be, you know. That's all I had implanted in my head. I'm like, me, a C-section? No, there's no way. One family member out of my whole family has gone to C-section, you know. So I'm like, no, there's no way. A C-section, no. And they kept talking about it. Hi, we just want to make sure if a C-section comes down to it, blood transfusion, sign. Okay, another thing, if C-section has to be made, I'm like, yeah, like, and I just kept saying like, yeah, of course I'm gonna need blood, you know, but I'm not gonna get a C-section, you know, like that's what I was thinking. Just kidding. Okay, so then everybody comes and they start checking me, and then they give me a little pill to see if it starts helping. So obviously I was in labor for a full day, so for 24 hours, right? So I was in labor for 24 hours, and within those 2 hours they give me another pill. They give me 2 pills, and it got things going, but not until they started the Pitocin little by little, right? So after the Pitocin, oh my gosh, let me just tell you, contractions they were so hard. Oh, they were so painful. I don't know how people are like, oh, just breathe and it will. Guys, I was trying, and to be honest, I was kind of embarrassed to scream this loud in front of Zabe, but at the time, or the nurses, I was so embarrassed. I don't know why, like, it was embarrassing to me. And I tried to hold in my scream, I couldn't. I just remember screaming and grabbing my bed and moving my legs, and I was like, ooh, ooh, and I remember just breathing really, really fast and really hard, and in my head, I'm like, breathe, just breathe, calm down. I couldn't. At first, I thought I was being dramatic, but oh my gosh, I just couldn't. I started screaming. And I tried to hold it as much as I could. I believe I made it to a 5. They couldn't keep checking me because I guess I could have gotten like an infection. It kind of pissed me off, but I couldn't keep telling him to keep checking me because they weren't gonna do it. So I was like, I need the epidural. I need the epidural. I need it now. And yep, right when Zave had to call me, I couldn't talk. By this time, I could not talk. I couldn't talk. So I told them, I need the epidural now. I need it now. So yeah, he did. He called it in. They came in, gave me the epidural, and let me say, amazing. I took the best 3-hour nap, and it was only 3 hours. I thought I was asleep for like a whole 8 hours. The whole 8 hours. It was just 3 hours. If you know the nap you take right after epidural. Oh my, the best nap ever. The best nap ever. So I took a very much needed nap, and obviously I was so happy. I was talking. I mean, and I will insert a video before the really hard contraction started. I'll put it right here. I was talking to my fiance, telling him I got the sweetest nurse, really off topic, but I got the first nurse, Oh my gosh, she was so amazing. She was so amazing. Best nurse ever. She was so sweet. Oh my gosh, I wish I would have known her name. I forgot. Don't remember. Anyways, so after that, things started getting so good, so smooth. Time went by, and it had been the following day, around in the afternoon now. And guys, I was at an 8. An 8. I started crying I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm about to see my baby. I'm about to start pushing. But when the nurse checks me, she's like, your water hasn't broken yet. I'm like, what? They're like, your water never broke. It was never broken, never broke. I don't even know if I'm saying that right. So she pulled out this big old stick and she's like, I'm gonna stick this in there. I'm gonna go ahead and break the water, okay? And I'm like, okay. And she broke my water. I just remember her standing back or something, and then all the water came out, and they had to change my my little pads. They just had to change everything under me, right? So yeah, after that she was like, okay, awesome, this is great news from here on. Because at first I wasn't dilating. When she first checked me, I think I was at a 3, and after that she's like, I can't check you until the following day. And I was hoping for the best, guys. I was like, oh my gosh, I don't want a C-section. I just didn't want to get a C-section, And then, so yeah, even the nurse was like, you're at an 8. Her face lit up. I literally started crying in front of her. I'm like, what? She's like, you're at an 8. And that's when she told me about the water. She broke my water. Oh my gosh, I remember just calling my mom or calling my mother-in-law. I was so happy. I was telling everybody, guys, I'm at an 8. I'm at an 8. We're gonna see my baby. Just thinking about it, I want to get emotional. It was just so emotional, your baby, your first son. I'm getting like a little flashback, little emotions are building up. Anyways, so obviously I start getting, oh my gosh, so happy. I'm like, I look at Zave and I cry to him, and I'm like, we're about to see our son any minute now. Because they said once you're in at 8 or 9, like it can go by really fast. Well, no. I got stuck at an 8 for 4 hours, and my water had already been broken. And I'm like, what? No, it wasn't 4 hours, it was 3 hours. I had been stuck at an 8 for 3 hours, and they kept calling me, hey, has he been born yet? What's going on? You having FaceTime? I was gonna two-way FaceTime my mom and my mother-in-law, and they kept calling me like, hey, why haven't you FaceTime? Or have you not gone into labor yet? Like, you should have already been getting ready. Should have been getting ready. And I was like, oh man, like, what the heck is going on? What's going on? So the nurses come in and they're like, we're gonna check you one more time, but this time something didn't seem right. Because it wasn't just one nurse. It was like multiple nurses that went in to check me. And I thought to myself, why is there so many nurses, And I was like, guys, it was like a good over 6 nurses, and then the doctor. It was the doctor and 6 different nurses. And they didn't seem like they were getting the table ready. They didn't see anything, right? So they come in and they're like, hey, we're gonna check you. And I was like, wait, so why is there so many nurses? Why is nobody setting the thing up? Like, nobody seemed like they were getting ready for me to push. They were like, so they checked me. They're like, hey, yeah, you're fully dilated. But she's stuck in her hand still in really far in. So she was like, yeah, you're fully dilated. Hey, let's go ahead and get ready. They put me down. I start getting to push, right? I push maybe like 3 times, and those 3 times I pushed 3 times, right? So I pushed a total of 9 times, and they kept hyping me up. They were like, yes. So I'm like, and I was like, oh my gosh, I'm about to push this baby out. I'm so excited, and I'm pushing and taking deep breaths, and I'm pushing, guys. And they were like, push, yes, there we go. And on the 3rd time, on the last push, they get really quiet, and all the nurses around me, I'm like, oh my gosh, this doesn't look good. Why is there so many nurses? Everybody gets so quiet. Oh, and before this, guys, I was put on oxygen because the baby was really low on oxygen, and they kept making me move certain ways, but he didn't like it. So they were like, nope, just stay there, make sure you stay there, keep your mask on. I'll insert a picture when I was with oxygen as well. And so I don't know, some things just kept adding up to another, and I started getting a little scared, and I kept hearing the baby's heartbeat drop when I was pushing. It started like and it went to so hearing that, oh, I even got the chills. I was kind of panicking, but I couldn't panic, like, you just can't panic, you just want your baby out. So I was like, okay, I need to stay calm and collected. I can't be freaking out. I need my baby out. I need him to be healthy. You know, we can't, right? So then whenever I keep pushing on the last push, the last third push, everybody gets really quiet, and that's when I could hear the heartbeat in the back too. The oh my gosh. And everybody was like, God, so quiet, guys. Imagine hearing all these nurses, yes, 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 and then all of a sudden everything is quiet. And I look at Zave, and I was starting getting to push. I look at Zave, and he wasn't like getting FaceTime his mom, getting ready to FaceTime, because I don't know if maybe he himself knew, like, why is there like 6 other nurses and a doctor. So I don't know if maybe he knew, or maybe he just didn't want to say anything to scare me, right? So whenever they got quiet, they were like, I'm so sorry. I'm like, what do you mean you're sorry? They were like, but we have to do a C-section on you. And I'm like, what? Oh, what? I'm sorry, what? And I literally look up at her, because I was already laying down, and she comes up. I'm so sorry, but we have to do a C-section on you. Baby's too high up. And he did not want to come down. That's what they were saying, that he didn't want to drop or come down, that he's really high up. And I'm like, I couldn't believe it. There's so many thoughts going through your head, right? So after this, I'm like, what do you mean? And they were like, okay, so they're about to move really fast. Don't be scared. This has to be done. And they have to move quick, okay? Guys, when she said that, and one nurse was like, opening door, boom, everything clicked. Like, you know when you see those movies, they're rushing into the hospital and they're like, I need this, I need it now. That's literally how it was. Boom, they pulled the rails up. Boom, they started pushing me out. Oxygen was like, the box, and there's all these nurses grabbing onto my little rail bed, running down the aisle. Imagine how you feel, what you're thinking. And I'm just laying there crying with my mask on, crying. I'm like, I can't believe this. I was so many thoughts. And I remember a nurse right in front of me. She's like, hey mama, it's okay, it's not your fault, you're okay, just breathe, okay, everything's gonna be okay. You'll see your baby so fast. You're gonna see him so fast. Oh my god, I don't know why I want to cry. I'm not about to cry. I'll bring him out here. I think he just woke up. His dad is in there. Okay, so obviously they ran me into this room, and guys, it was so crazy. When they opened the room, boom, I just see these huge lights, white light, like a ring light, but they were huge. And then this bed, and they pulled me right there, and they were like, hey, we need you to pick yourself up. Can you pick yourself up? Can you move your legs? Or like, you know, like they were telling me what to do, right? And by then Zave couldn't go in. They kept Zave outside, and he couldn't come in until I would deliver the baby. So I just remember them moving me to this bed, and they were asking me, can you feel this? And they were like poking me with stuff, and I was like, yeah, a little bit. And they were like, okay. And then they hooked on something to my neck. That was the epidural. They put some more. I mean, I don't even know. Everything just happened so fast. Everything happened super fast. And after that, they were like, can you feel this? And I was like, no, not really. They were like, okay. And I remember they tied me up, because I don't know if I was moving, but they tied me up. They tied me down. And I just remember crying. And this girl next to me comes up to me, and she was like, hey mama, I don't know if it was the same girl. I don't remember. I don't remember her face. I didn't have my glasses, so I couldn't see. They're like, hey mama, everything's gonna be okay. You're gonna see your baby just in a few minutes. Like, she was like, give it 2 minutes, you're gonna see your baby, give it 2 minutes. And I remember her rubbing my hand, like trying to calm me, right? But I was tied down. And during the whole process, I remember grabbing her hand. I remember pinching it so hard. I remember just grabbing there, crying, pinching her heart. And I don't know if she was supposed to go somewhere, or if she was there for moral support, or I don't know. But I remember just grabbing onto her hand so tight and so hard during the whole process. And it was like, it was so hard for me to realize I was getting a C-section, guys. I was laying there, and my body was just moving. There was a lot of tugging, and they were gonna be like, you're gonna feel some pressure, okay, and then I remember just laying there, my body was moving, and I just remember it was like, ooh, I didn't like the feeling. So for me to calm down, I had to take like not moaning, but like, ooh, like making a noise, biting my teeth down, and ooh, like breathing out. I know it's weird, but I had to do that to calm myself down. And guys, I actually went into sort of a shock. I started, my body started shivering. And I remember right when my baby was delivered, I remember just, and it happen so fast within a minute. Boom, my baby was delivered. I heard his cry. I've never shown this picture, but I'll show a picture of him right here. He was so long, 8 pounds, 21 inches. My beautiful baby boy was here. And right after that, I heard him, I saw him. They brought him up to my face. I will insert another video whenever they brought him to my face. And guys, right when they put him to my face, he was so calm. He was so calm, so beautiful. I love him, I love him, I love him. He was so calm, and I was still they're trying to breathe, right? Well, before, whenever they were getting him ready, I actually threw up. I remember just saying, I'm about to throw up, I need a bag. And right when they got me the bag, I threw up. I think even the picture has like some yellow stains of when I had thrown up either fluid. I don't know what I threw up, but I threw up some yellow type of fluid. And yeah, I went into shock. Right after that, boom, I blacked out. I actually blacked out. I blacked out for 2 hours. My baby was upstairs by himself for 2 hours. Oh my gosh, when I woke up, I remember just crying, and I woke up shivering. I woke up in the recovery room, and Zay was next to me. He says I was out for 2 hours, and I remember just shivering, saying I'm cold, and then I would have this nurse come and press hard on my stomach, and I remember just shivering, telling her it hurts, like ouch. I just remember that. And so obviously after there, right after I wake up, I'm like, where's my phone? I need to call my mom. I remember calling her, Mom, I got a C-section. What? I'm sorry, Mama. After all that happened, guys, I couldn't communicate. All that happened, no one had heard of me. Everything had just stopped. So I had all these missed calls, messages. Baby's here, are you okay? What's going on? So obviously I called my mom, crying. Mom, I had a C-section. Mom, I had an emergency C-section. I was so disappointed in myself. I don't know why. I was so sad that I had to get a C-section. So obviously there, I'm talking to my mom, and then a nurse comes in, and I'm like, hey Mom, hold on, a nurse is here talking to me. They're trying to talk to me. So she comes in, and she was like, hey, I know you just had a really rough delivery, and I'm sure this is the last thing you want to hear, but your baby was, waiting for you, but he was actually moved into the NICU. And I'm like, what? Oh my gosh, I start crying. I'm not about to cry. I start crying. That's the last thing you want to hear after you just delivered. You are traumatized, you got a C-section, or not traumatized, the last thing you want to hear. And then they come and tell you your baby's in the NICU. Like, why? You're full term. He was 8 pounds. He was a good, healthy baby. And actually, the reason he went in is because, guys, he was losing oxygen. He was put on oxygen. He had lost oxygen. He wasn't breathing. He actually kind of stopped breathing. His oxygen level went down to like 70, I think, 71. And for a baby to fully be like, your baby's like not breathing, I believe it's like 68%. 68 or 69, and my baby was at 71% of oxygen level. So if I don't like to say this, but if it came to it, guys, my baby he couldn't have been here if it was for a little smaller percentage of oxygen. He was down to 71. 68. He was 3% away from completely having no oxygen. And that they noticed him because he was starting to turn purple. And if you guys can tell by the picture, I'll put it up again. He was very white. He was very, very white of his dad. Like, so imagine seeing this light complected baby turning purple. Like, you're gonna notice it, right? Or I hope they noticed it. But yeah, so that's what she told me, and I was devastated. That's what she came in and told me, that his oxygen levels went really, really, really low. And obviously I start crying, and I'm like, what? And then I can still feel the pain a little bit, and I'm in shock, so I call my mom again, like, mom, what? They moved him to the NICU. His oxygen level went really low. He was put on oxygen, and he was being monitored. And I was like, what? Oh my gosh, you know what? We're gonna pray. We're gonna start praying. We're gonna pray for you guys. We're gonna pray for him. And I told her how to go. I had to they had to take me up to my room. So that's what they were getting ready to, and they were like, hey, we're here to move you to your to set you in your room. And that's what they did. So I had to tell my mom, like, Mom, I'll call you back later, you need to get some rest. This was like around, it was like 12 something, I remember that. So yeah, they took me up to my room, and I couldn't believe all this was happening. I couldn't believe my baby was low on oxygen. I mean, and I couldn't believe I had gone a C-section. I couldn't believe it. Everything had happened so fast. I delivered him at 8:02. He was born at 8:02 p.m. So everything happened so fast. I just can't believe all this happened, you know. And just to shorten it up from there on, it actually happened again. So he had to stay in the NICU for, I believe, 4 days. Yes, 4 days. He was gonna have to stay there for, I believe, 5, but he did really good. The first 2 he had those incidents, and they just wanted him to go 36 hours without that incident. It happened twice, guys, twice. So I freaked out, you know. I freaked out. So when I was there, and they didn't tell me that it happened a second time. It happened, I believe, at 2 o'clock in the morning, and I was up, I was pumping. I wanted my baby to get my milk, so I was pumping. And why didn't they tell me anything? I'm like, are the mom's still in the hospital? Are you guys not gonna update her? Or so I got kind of upset about that, and that they didn't tell me anything. So I got a little upset, and I know that because I went downstairs, and that they told me. And they told me he had lost some weight, and that they had to start him on formula, you know. Like, oh, I was so upset. I'm not that upset, but I was like, oh my gosh, I can't believe they started him on formula. I didn't want to do formula, but I couldn't put like if or like my ifs, you know. Like it had to be done. My baby needed food, and I was stuck up there.
I couldn't move. I had to pee and move for me to go see my baby. They're like, you have to use the restroom before we let you go. Oh my gosh, so the first time I had to get up, I cried. And I remember this super sweet Mexican nurse. Oh my gosh, she was like, wow, I loved her. She understood. She was like, hey, like, she was talking to me in Spanish, like, hey, está bien, you know, like, ya sé que duele, I know it hurts, you're in pain, but you have to walk. Like, the best thing to do after C-section, you have to walk. We have to try to get you up. So I did, guys. I did. I wanted to go see my baby. I wanted to kiss him. This had been before the first time I got to carry him, it was like within 21 hours of me carrying him, which I thought was eternal, because there's moms that don't get to carry their baby after like 3 days a week. So to me, 21 hours was eternal. I feel like it was like forever. So obviously I was like, I haven't touched and kissed my baby. I need to go. I need to do it. So obviously I did, and I remember just crying. And then, guys, it was so ugly. Like, not ugly, but I just couldn't believe what I had seeing in the mirror, you know. I was full of fluids. I was big. I was like hinchada. And I got huge, right? So there was so much weight and skin hanging. And they had to cut like literally right in my underwear, and I feel like a little bit higher above my underwear line, like right there where like low-rise jeans would be at. And oh my gosh, I wouldn't insert a picture, but I didn't really trim that day because I didn't think I was gonna go into delivery. So I'll try, maybe I can blur it out. I mean, I don't know, I'll see. I'll put it right here, and I had those little tape stitches as well. Anyway, so I had to, and after that, oh my gosh, I was in so much pain, but after all that, it's so worth it. I got to see my baby, my beautiful baby boy. I was showing a video or a picture of him here when I got to finally first hold him. I cried and cried and cried and cried and cried and cried while holding my baby. I was in so much pain, and it still hurt while trying to hold him, and I was determined to breastfeed. So I got to try to latch him on, everything.
Yeah, that was my baby. He ended up staying in the NICU room for 2 extra days. Yes, on the 5th day they released him. He was doing so good, and he was so handsome, so beautiful. Everybody said that he was such a lovely boy, that he would eat, and he was always they had a little music that would go and feed him. He was wrapped up in a little swaddle. I'll put a picture here when we were there watching him. And before I end up the video, let me go and get him. The light is too bright for him, so I also hope this mic is working. And here he is. He woke up. I'm right. The hola, hola. Oh, I forgot I had my glasses on. Okay, so this is him. Look at him. 7-month-old baby Ezra. So yeah, guys, that was pretty much my leave and delivery. After that, we brought him home, and it was hard. Oh my gosh, so much props to the moms that get C-sections. It's so hard. It was so hard. I mean, there's been so many times that I wanted to there were so many times that I wanted to stop breastfeeding because of how hard it was, and the cluster feeding. Checking out my jewelry is nice, huh? ¿Está bonita la cadena? ¿Te gusta? ¿Te gusta? Yeah, he approves. So yeah, it was really, really hard, and that was my labor and delivery story. I hope I didn't miss much. I know I missed a few things now that I can think of, but everything else was pretty much spot on. And yeah, this is my baby boy, healthy. But yeah, guys, I think that is all for today. I really hope you guys enjoyed this story, and I hope I made sense. I feel like I always blabber on and never get to the point. And one more time, guys, don't forget to check out Ana Luisa. They have the cutest and most sustainable jewelry. So yeah, I will leave the information in my description box. Don't forget to check it out in there, and I'll have their links for it to send you straight to Ana Luisa. So I guess that is all for today. I really, really hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I will see you guys in my next video. Bye.